What's going on, people? Welcome back to Live Palace News. It's been a while since we've done a live show, but we are back right before deadline day. And boy, is there a lot to talk about today. I'm joined by T, as always, to discuss the latest Palace news. We're going to be talking about and completed deals and rumored players that might be coming in for medical. We might have some business at the end of the day. But before we get into the show, as always, if you do enjoy it, leave a like, subscribe, and leave down your comments in the comment section down below if you're watching it on replay, and if you're watching live, send it through live and we'll see what we can do. But it's going to be a quick show, straight on to the point. T, who should we start with? Let's start off with the man that is set to have a medical at Palace. So that's Ahamada from Stuttgart. Of course, there was we had the deal was very close to being done, and then it was off. And now his medical is booked. So according to Fabrizio Romano, of course, the journalist that everyone pretty much knows about on Twitter, Crystal Palace are set to sign Ahamada on a 12 million euros fee, which is roughly around 10.5 million pounds. Yeah. And the deal is set to be completed with the medical test already booked, which is a massive positive. Ahamada has agreed on personal terms and will become a new midfielder signing for Patrick Vieira. We've had a lot of ups and downs in this window. And I took this weekend off, literally. I turned off Twitter because it was just a complete meltdown. But midfielder, we're crying out for one. We spoke about him before as well. He's not the finished product, only 20 years old. His attacking game is there, and it seems like he has got potential to improve in that side. Maybe his only real downside is his defensive play. Then again, I say that we got Patrick Vieira, so who else to help him improve in that side of the game? Yeah. But look, he looks like a number 8. We've needed a number 8, and he seems like we're getting a young potential player. And it seemed like I've listened to David Ornstein today on The Athletic, and he said that this one gone kind of under the radar, and other clubs are looking at Palace thinking, wow, they managed to pull off a very good deal for a very good player. So for you, medical test book, hopefully tomorrow we'll be talking about it being confirmed. But what's your reaction to it?
It's great, man. I mean, I'm happy that we... it sucked that we started talking about it, and all of a sudden it's like, oh no, he's not coming. It's like, damn.
Typical Palace, innit?
It felt typical, but in the end, money talks, bullshit walks. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think they were interviewing the manager for Stuttgart, and they were asking, like, what changed? What was the difference? And he basically said, man, money, man. They're sitting in relegation area right now in the Bundesliga, so they're going to lose money when they get sent down. And if they get sent down, it's like, hey, we came with enough money to make a difference for them. So, I think it's another great move. The kid himself as a player, I think he fits our model very well with what we've been doing in the market in these past few windows. I mean, you think about some of the guys we brought in, and they're young, exciting guys, and they're not the finished product. You know what I'm saying? Like, Michael Olise is not a finished product. Edouard is not a finished product. You know what I'm saying? We got some guys that are closer to being, that with, Gay, Anderson, Czech Decore. But, I mean, I like what we're getting in this kid, man. I like what could come from it, too. He's really talented. Looks like he has a really high upside. And when you're working with a manager with the type of experience that Patrick Vieira has on the playing field, I think this could be another fantastic signing, under the radar signing, like you said. So
yeah. Look, by the way, tomorrow we will be live from 8 p.m. UK time to 11 p.m. talking about transfers and our window and answering questions, having a quiz and all of that more. So if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe to not miss out on future Palace content. So yeah, tomorrow it'll be interesting. Hopefully we'll be talking about him being confirmed tomorrow.
Yeah.
But T, just quickly before we move on to the next player, are you on the same boat as me in saying I think we had money all along? I mean, 10.5 million ain't something crazy. I think we had it all along. But now that Wilf is out injured, now that we're seeing that Conor Gallagher is getting mentioned, Wan-Bissaka for the summer, and all the melt that's happening, do you think the club got pressured into the signing? Because for me, it just doesn't make any sense why the deal will be off, and then we come back to it a few days later when it seems like we're basically getting no one. Every player that we tried to go for has gone to either Premier League rival or they're not joining us. Do you think it was a pressure moment from the club to make this, to pull this deal off, if it does happen?
It could be that. It could very well be that, or it could just be the fact that we are being very, very tight with our money in this window. Like, think about it. We got the deal across the line for £10.5 million. They told us the first time around when we came in with our initial offering that it was way too low. We went way too low on a $10 million successful bid. So it's like, how low did we go? Like, did we come in at like 6? And it was like, nah, no way, man. Just it's not happening. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think maybe just the fact that we're being extremely frugal and extremely uh, calculated in the moves here. So like, I wouldn't be surprised if this is probably the only permanent move that we're making in the window. You know what I'm saying? And that will make a lot of
Yeah,
sense as far as how much we're spending because we're putting out 10.5 here. It's like, okay, if that's most of what we got set aside for the winter window, then it's going to be imperative that these other one or two moves, if we do make them, are going to be loan moves. We're probably only putting out a nominal fee for the loan and then maybe looking to the summer to make them permanent possibly if we get those type of options. So I think it could just be also that we're just being very calculated with what we're trying to do in this window.
yeah. I look. In all honesty, I had I had zero expectation after the deal. The reports came out that the deal kind of fell through and was waiting until the summer. I thought, you know what, this window is just a complete write off. I literally had zero expectations in terms of. I wouldn't have been surprised if tomorrow, 11 p.m., that would have signed anyone. That's the type of mentality that I was approaching this window with because it reached that point. Look, I mean, we still haven't confirmed anyone, and we're approaching
Right.
the final
Right.
24 hours, and it's been that kind of window. I mean, yes, we have been a bit tight, you might say, with money, but we've known that we needed these positions, and
Yep.
clearly the club. I feel like the club were pretty much happy that we're not going to be pushing for European football and we're not going to get relegated. Maybe Wilf being injured, does that change that? I'm not too sure. I don't exactly know what changed because I feel all along, I feel like we had the money. So I don't know what
Mm-hmm.
exactly changed, but it's changed. And we'll see. For me, like, Hamada, even I've said this before, he's 20 years old. He might not play straight away, by the way, because as good as
Might
he's been
not.
for Stuttgart, there are still flaws to his games, which I think Vieira over time will help him. But regardless, you don't lose £10 million. He either becomes a starter for us, or he becomes a good squad depth player. Because the likes of Luca and Gyro, I expect them to move on in the summer. So
Mm-hmm.
if they move on, and you told me that we brought in a 20-year-old young midfielder who is a box-to-box player, maybe I'm giving him too much credit. He struggled defensively in terms of tackling, but he can be a potential very good box-to-box player. I'll take that over Luca and Gyro. You know, we still made improvements in the midfield, so either way, I'm happy for it.
Yeah.
And yeah, it is pretty much confirmed in terms of he's got his medical booked, but the signing, it hasn't happened 100% yet. So we expect it to happen at this point. So yeah, let's see what happens. But let's move on to the second bit of rumor. And you know what? It just happened early in the afternoon, and this was according to Fanatic, the Turkish newspaper, who said that Crystal Palace are prepared to offer 12 million euros for Fenerbahce right back, Brian Samuel. And the reason why I'm saying right back like that is because we were linked with him before, and as a right midfielder, he was in a right back.
Mm-hmm.
And according to this report, Palace have put together a package worth 12 million euros, including bonuses. But last minute, Singapore have gone for him as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it looks like Bournemouth
that's
made the move
crazy.
for 13 million, I think, for him. And
That's. I mean, they've took two of our players now. I don't know if they're trying to become the new West Ham in terms of trying to take our players, but look, quickly, I don't think he's a right back. When we were first trying to sign him, he was a right winger. So for me, I was surprised that they listed him as a right back. I know he's been playing right back at Fenerbahce, but in terms of like a modern right back, I mean, Wan-Bissaka used to be a right winger to turn right back, but he was very good defensively. We saw it there. I don't know. Bright Samuel is a right back. He might be a right wing back, but not right back. So yeah, I was surprised with this bit of rumor. But in terms of other comments, Lawrence says looking forward to seeing Hamada and Decore in midfield together. Lots of energy and passing, 100%. That's right. Ty says
Spence is going to Rennes.
Yeah, player terms agreed. Or medical number 8, potentially number 8. Yeah. Now that Conor Gallagher. Well, we never know Conor Gallagher. There might be still deadline day. You never know. But look, Bright says Samuel. It seems like that deal's off because it seemed like it's going Bournemouth. But in the afternoon, that was a potential. So it seemed like we still got money, regardless of Hamada, which is the one thing I can take from that. But moving on to the next bit of rumor, and that's on Ismail Issa. So Aston Villa and Crystal Palace have both decided that Watford's £25 million asking price is beyond them right now. So my quick thoughts on this is Ismail Issa has been rumored with us for about 3 years now. When I first saw this, I was like, I'm getting tired of the same names getting mentioned. But the question that I was going to ask T, and I'll ask you guys as well about this is, Ismail Issa, do you think, T, quickly on Ismail Issa, do you think in the summer, if Wilf was to leave, he will be the man to replace him? Because his name is being mentioned quite often now. £25 million, we're not willing to pay that. But if Wilf was to leave, I wouldn't be massively surprised because that's the name that continuously gets mentioned for the last few years.
Constantly. I think the reason why it probably makes the most sense at this point is, number one, we know him very well through scouting and things, but by the time the summer rolls around, his value will be so much lower than it's been in the past when it's come to our interest in him. You know, I think it's going from like 50 million to 40 million to 30. Now it's like 25-ish now. So in the summertime, who knows where it could be. So I think he's accustomed to football in England. So I guess it's just the one that makes the most sense at this point.
Yeah, 100%. But look, today we're going to keep it short because we haven't got much time, but we thought we'll jump on before deadline day, start the week off with a bit of positive news. But as I just posted in the comment section as well, tomorrow at 8 p.m. UK time, we are going to be live. So all of these rumors, all of our business, we'll be talking about that in more detail. Today, we thought we'll just quickly go through some of the news that's been coming out and letting you guys know all that's been going on. Let's wrap it up with 2 loan recalls from the same club. So it seems like Bristol City are hoping to sign, and there's been other multiple clubs interested as well. And Jake O'Brien on loan this month to bolster the defense with a view to a permanent deal. The 21-year-old, of course, was at Texas, another parent club, Molenbeek, but he's expected to return to England. And also another confirmed deal is for Luke Plange, who actually just confirmed right before it went live. He's agreed to join Lincoln on a 6-month deal after return to Palace from Molenbeek as well. So T, quickly, let's start off with Jake O'Brien. Of course, we've seen him play at times for the first team. He does look like a modern centre back, and he has played decently at times as well. But him being recalled from Molenbeek with an option to buy for these clubs, do you think his future at Palace is limited based on these reports?
I would say, I hope it's not limited. Let me just say that. I hope that we're fast tracking his future with us because he's playing at a higher level by going to Bristol City. And maybe by playing that 6 months with them, it puts him on the fast track to join the first team at the beginning of the next season as our probably our 4th center back, possibly 3rd, depending on if we lose anybody. He's a man mountain, first of all. I mean, you don't come across too many guys that's that big at the back that can, play with the ball at his feet. So yeah. I think making the move from being over there in Belgium in the 2nd division to now having that 6 months to play in the championship gives him some good quality experience before maybe having him step into the first team full time with us, possibly too. If not, the possibility of making a sell on him too. So
look, another thing that just came to my head straight away right now is that we've got Richards, we've got Gahey, we've got Anderson as well. So in terms of O'Brien getting that many opportunities at Palace, maybe as a 4th choice centre back, unless I'm forget someone else. So it doesn't really have a future like that because Richards, unless we play back 5 and then
or somebody moves on. You know what I'm saying? People talk about all the time that what this summer could end up looking like with us possibly selling one of those guys. So I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. But look, let's move on to the final bit of rumor. As I mentioned just a minute ago, Luke Plange has returned to Palace to go back out on loan to Lincoln after coming back from Molenbeek. Just 2 things about this. Luke Plange, I don't think he had that many games at Molenbeek. I wasn't happy with the move to Molenbeek, in all honesty. Apart from experience from playing abroad, that helps him. I don't think the level was high enough. Then again, you go into Lincoln, you can make the argument, what's the difference between them? But for me, I prefer him to be back at home, and then you can, keep track a bit better. But for you, out on loan 6 months. Next season, we know that we need another forward. We didn't replace Benteke, that no one really talks about. We've only got potentially Mateta leaving as well, based on reports. If not this window, maybe in summer, it could be likely. Planche, any hope for you for him to come back into the Palace side and maybe play a role next season? It's a bit
I don't know, man. I
difficult
would hope
based
so.
on what's been happening so far.
I would hope so, just because it gives us a cheaper option up top. You know what I'm saying? We don't have to go out and spend any money. But the fact that he's being loaned out to a League One team, it's like, is he going to be ready to step up and help us out? In the Prem, I don't know. But
it's hard. You're asking an awful lot.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's a big jump to think somebody's going to have first team experience in League One and then be able to come in and be a contributor for us in the Prem. So I don't know, but we'll see. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah. But look, let's wrap up the show now. As I said, it was going to be a short show. Tomorrow we are back live. We're going to be talking about everything to do with Palace. Whatever questions that you have, we'll be answering them on tomorrow's show. But look, that's it from me and T. Hope to see you guys tomorrow from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. Deadline Day special. Maybe we get a sign in there. Maybe a loan move that we'll talk about as well. But that's it from us. And until next time, up the Palace.